Hi everyone, and welcome to Verloop's webinar titled How Conversational AI Can Turn Support Pain Points into Positive Customer Experiences. My name is Urvashi, and I head sales for India region for Verloop, and I will be the moderator for today's session. To start off, let me first introduce our guest. We have with us Mr. Puneet Jain, who head alliances and partnerships at Vinculum globally and comes with over 15 years of experience in digital commerce. Welcome to the webinar, Puneet.
Thank you so much, Urvashi. Thank you.
Puneet, it would be great if you can just walk us through your professional journey so far.
Sure. So, Urvashi, thank you for the invite and hosting me on the webinar. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you are connecting from, audience. Love to be connected with you guys. So, from a journey standpoint, I started my journey in early 2006. With few of the industries which right now we are talking about the e-commerce heavy industry. So I started my journey with the real estate and the BFSI segment, right? So I started my career with the Shopper developers in the Reliance world, right? So Reliance, at that time, Reliance Capital in 2006, right? And then graduated to the e-commerce. So that's when the bug of internet bite me in 2007. And then onwards, I am a part of one way or the other part of the digital commerce, right? I started the journey with India Plaza, which was the pioneer in the e-commerce in Bangalore, right? Which was, they had, so at that time, they had this Spam Mall was the offline store and the online was the India Plaza, right? Mm-hmm. Had that been a case of talking Omni-channel at that time, it would have been a really a joke of the day, but now we are talking about Omni, right? So Fab Mall of lately got acquired by Aditya Birla and become more as a store. So so India Plaza was one of the initial startup in the e-commerce space, and then of course there was Cafe Gadgets and Let's Buy. I was one of the founding member along with 4 more guys. We started from Cafe Gadgets, and then that's when we founded Let's Buy, which off lately got acquired by Flipkart. I had, so post that, I was part of Infibeam Avenue, which is the listed company in India. So they have acquired CC Avenue. So there I was handling the, so of course, brand alliances was part of it, but more to do with, we had the front end platform, which is more to similar on the similar line like Shopify or Magento. Anybody and everybody who wanted to go online, we had the platform called Buildabida. So I had a almost 5 years, 6 years stint with Infibeam itself, and that's all. So I had back in BFSI, I was handling the online business for Aviva India. So those are all the front end experience, right? But that's when we talk about that front end e-commerce, how it gelled with the offline, Omni experience. So I had an experience with Ace Turtle and the now currently with Vinculum. It's been 3rd year in a row. These are the pure back-end platform which manage the entire show of the e-commerce journey.
Thanks. That's actually amazing. I mean, thanks for sharing your journey. Just to also give a quick overview of the structure of the webinar to the audience, we'll be addressing the topic of the webinar first, followed by a 5 to 10 minutes Q&A session. You can drop in your questions using the Q&A tab on Zoom. All right, Puneet, starting off with the discussion, I mean, since you come from a digital commerce background and it's completely a digital first world, right now, and with digital natives being a huge chunk of the demographic, what are the biggest challenges organizations are facing today while trying to create delightful customer experiences, in your opinion?
Sure. So let me, before we talk about challenges, let's discuss the opportunity. What is the opportunity available, right? Sure. So this is one of the Deloitte survey done. So as per Deloitte report, they are saying almost, so Indian e-commerce industry itself is going to be around 200 billion plus by 2025, right? Yeah. That's the opportunity, right? And we talked about the digital natives. So there are almost around 350 million plus e-commerce customers which will be available to be served. Right? So there will be hundreds of enterprises. There will be thousands of D2C brands which are mushrooming almost on a daily basis, and millions of SMEs to serve this humongous customer base. So digital native audience, you, me, or for that matter, anybody connected to internet, thanks to the easy access to internet, all are digital natives, right? Uh, the good part is we have so much access to information. We rely so much on, and this is the easy access of information. It's not that I need to search the books or I have to go through the books and understand the information. This is just a click away, right? So all the information is so easily available that uh, that's when we become little impatient as digital, right? From a millennial generation or say Gen Z generation, we are accustomed to on-demand lifestyle. I know what I need, when I need, how much I need. No one else will be dictating this, right?
Yeah.
The more so, all these, all of us are socially connected, right? And if you really like something about like an organization, right? So a customer becomes your biggest advocate. They will create such a good word of mouth about your brand. But the moment there is a switch, there is a change in experience, a bad experience, they'll become the biggest critic. You choose the channel wherever you wish to communicate. They'll make sure they'll come and talk ill about your product. So that is one of the biggest challenges, right? So if you talk about challenges, so consistency of experience when we talk about the channels, because today's scenario, all of us are dealing through multiple channels, be it your website, be it your app or the offline store. The consistency, maintaining the consistency across all the touch points, what the customer reach out to, that is one of the biggest challenge, right? This scenario, so if I need to take my example, right? So I was planning to buy some particular style of shirt, right? And I visited the website. So there was leftover stock for last season, which they were showcasing, but fortunately, I got a call from the customer success team that you are looking for the shirts right now. I believe you were surfing our website, but you couldn't able to get that shirt, right? Yeah. So let us try and make it available. Good part is, the moment I dropped off, I was not aware that I had a conversation. I got a call, I got an email. Hey, Puneet, you were looking for this, right? I got a call from offline store, the store which is nearby to me, right? I got a call that, Puneet, you are looking for this shirt. Why don't you come try it on? That's a wow experience. They want the customer, right? But parallelly, there was an experience where the e-commerce, so there is another brand I was searching for. The e-commerce website was working fantastically, right? But the moment I switched to their app or I just changed the screen, it was a pathetic experience. So consistency across all these channels, one of the biggest challenge what I see, right? The second is so-called digital native guys, but still, even though we are socially connected, but we do expect some bit of privacy and our space, right? That's my space, right? And no one. So the second biggest challenge what I see is the personalization, right? We talk about, even though we expect the other side of the organization to know more about me and then recommend me accordingly, right? Recommend me the product, but still I expect them to not invade my privacy. Yeah. So personalization, if I see, the personalization really works well if you tell me that what is the right information at the right time that is made available to me. That's, to me, is a personalization, right? More so it's when the personalization really works, the customer, as a customer, you feel that the other side, they really understood my problem, right? It's not, I won't see it as invading to my privacy. So biggest two challenges what I see is the consistency and the personalization.
Absolutely. And what do you think would be, say, the top 3 corrective measures or actionables to sort of match that expectation of consistency and personalization that you mentioned?
So Urvashi, let's be honest, right? So thanks to pandemic, right, all are digitally connected. We are spoiled for choices, right? If X is not offering, let me switch to Y, right? It's just a click away, right? We don't wait. So as I earlier said, it's one of the impatient nature because of easy access of information.
Absolutely.
So majority of the brands, over big or small, they are digitally available. So it's just a click away. I can switch my choices. The loyalty is is really, really missing until unless I'm getting a consistent experience. That's what we said, right?
Yeah.
So the customer, given the choices, what the customer has as of now, right? It makes all the important, how do you win these customers? So one of the area, what I see, the corrective measures is, within organization, let's do a customer journey mapping completely, right? It's not always a job of customer support guy to wait for the information or wait for the support to be offered to the customer. It has to be multiple stakeholders need to be involved in the customer journey. So right now, the customer journey mapping is not done completely. This is one of the gray area as of now, right? So when I say customer journey, considering our SaaS product, right? So in a SaaS product like ours or probably Verloop, there are different touch points, right? We expect this customer to, so even though we make a lot of videos, a lot of article or a lot of information, make it available to the customer, but in case if I'm getting stuck somewhere, the pop-up window should come, right? At any point of time, the customer journey, when I say customer journey, it means from starting from the lead generation till the onboarding, complete onboarding. That's the complete mapping what we expect. And this definitely given, so again, we did our survey also, and there is a Nielsen which has done the survey. There is a 81% increase in the customer satisfaction wherever the customer journey mapping is complete, right? Then, of course, majority of the companies, we look at different set of data. So then the churn rate also reduces drastically. And the NPS, net promoter score, what we calculate, especially from a customer satisfaction index standpoint. So that also improves, right? So one of the corrective measures I see, a customer journey mapping involving multiple stakeholders, not just limiting to the customer support part of it. The second is, we were talking about multi-channels, omni-channel and others, right? Even today, there are almost, again, one of the survey points I'll talk about, there are 50%, over 50% of the companies, they are selling across all these multiple channels, but there is all these channels, the data is sitting in cyber, right? A guy who is buying an offline store versus a guy who is buying from your web store, or a guy who is buying from your social channels. You have a lot of data, but are you really taking advantage of that data? You're not, right? This data sitting in silos, that is again one of the biggest problems. A customer support guy, if he's been given as a customer, if I'm visiting your, I'm calling your toll-free number, there is a problem. But the moment I'm putting it over email, they should be in sync, right? So there has to be a unified view of the customer which needs to be made available. So in case if I'm facing a problem, a email should sync with your toll-free number. A toll-free number should sync with your WhatsApp, right? You have all the data, but are you really leveraging that data? You're not. So that's the second piece I'll talk about, right? The third one, let's face it, let's interview for a few customers, right? So there are a lot of customers who are ready to, considering the millennial audience, right? Happy to give you feedback, right? Happy to be heard, happy to be share the feedback, but let's be upfront, ask for them, what is, so can they recall their first purchase, right? Did they able to get the right set of products? Was our navigation, did you able to find the right set of products and the right time? What are the key decisions, what decided, which made you buy the product from our website? Other end, what was the frustrating experience, right? They'll be more than happy to share that. If the good is not there, the frustrating one, definitely you will be able to hear from them. Last but not least is the get the customer support feedback. Majority of the companies, they have started that piece, but we need to really build on it. So those are the three corrective measures, what I see we need to work on it.
No, absolutely. Very valid points, Puneet. In fact, mapping the entire customer journey and consolidating data on all the channels that, you're providing support on is definitely something that, can actually improve customer experience. And at the same time, personalize the conversation or personalize the support that you're going to provide to the customer, right? Even the third point, right, in terms of getting feedback from your team, it's very, very important to actually fill the gaps in terms of where we are lacking in terms of customer support, or how can the experience be better in terms of a customer reaching out to you. With that, how do you think omni-channel or automation of this entire journey that the customer takes from lead generation to support can actually help in providing a better experience?
So you see, Omni, if you talk about 2 years back,
Yeah.
people used to have an option whether I should go for Omni or I'm happy doing the traditional business, right? Or happy doing the online business. So Omni, so it was earlier a choice. Now it is a necessity, right?
Yeah.
I'm again saying thanks to pandemic because you didn't have the offline channels.
Yeah.
The hardcore traditional guys who are doing a lot of offline businesses, they don't know, they were stuck with the inventory, right? And the only channel they could able to sell was either you should have your own your own web store, or you were doing it from the marketplace, right? So the Omni experience, if I need to see, so Omni is again, so it's not just, people get typically confused between multiple channels and the omni-channel. Multi-channel is all, I'm selling through all these channels we talk about: offline, online, social, and others. But the omni is when it's a seamless communication between customer across all the channels. So that's a true omni experience, right? Be it your retail to online or your phone, all the channels, wherever you are communicating from, there has to be consistency among them, right? So from a businesses standpoint, the omni experience, when we say, because typically, because we do discuss with a lot of traditional brands, right? And they have clear structure that, hey guys, this is a retail store. Why don't you go talk to retail store guys? This is a retail. You bought it from retail. Why are you coming back on to the toll-free number? You should go visit the retail store. But as a customer, even though I'm buying from online or offline, it shouldn't be differentiated. Sure. I see your business as a single entity. Yeah. I don't differentiate whether I bought it from online or offline, right? I will see you X, if whether X is online, whether X is offline, or X is on social media, right? Yeah. So that's a, from an omni standpoint, businesses should treat all their, so they should break the silos and treat from a customer standpoint, it is a single business entity, right? So omni-channel personalization, when I was talking about, so it is providing completely individualized experience to me, right? You have all the real-time data available. We talked about that all the channels should sync the data. Now, syncing is one part of it. How do you make the sense out of the data, right? It won't just help with the customer support piece also, but using that data and ensuring that you get a lot of customer insights. As a marketeer, if I'm doing it offline stores promotion or versus online store promotion, and I don't know, chances are that the online guy who was purchasing online, he might visit your store. And if the same guy as the offline guy, if I know that this guy made purchases in the online and he might opt in for this product, I will recommend those products to you, right? And there are very much good amount of chances that they'll convert that customer. So from a marketeer standpoint also, and from a support standpoint also, the omni experience is interconnecting and making sense out of the data available across multiple channels, right? There are, so it's not that it's a difficult task. There are a lot of tools available thanks to you guys. So there are a lot of tools available from app. So just by application of your machine learning algos, right? You can very well measure the actions. You can actually score them. You can classify the user state of the mind also, right? You can determine the level of engagement or the frustration. Yeah. All those areas, they can be tracked through the data itself. And that's what we need to look at, right? To add more, so from a mobile, so in case if I visited your app or the website and I've checked out I talked about, right? So I checked out few products. Yeah. Immediate prompt to should be that, hey, you were looking for something. It shouldn't be a personalized email saying, dear Puneet, you are looking for this. Yeah. Ideally, I will expect when we talk about the personalization Omni experience, I expect along with name, I should have the product catalog, what I was looking at, right? I should have the similar range of products. If the X was not available, there are tons of other products which are of similar in nature. Those should be made available. That's where we call it as, so instead of just limiting to the email social, now there are a lot of tools available. You have web push notification, app push notification, make use of it.
Absolutely. And in fact, how do you think, automation and conversational AI is actually helping in, interactions with the customers for support and engagement, and also building a journey which is completely, personalized. And also, a lot of customers are also coming up saying that, all of these conversations that are happening with, say, the bots with different e-commerce firms or financial institutions are actually very, very human-like, and doesn't feel they're talking to a bot. At the same time, their queries resolve 24/7 in real time. So how do you think automation is helping in, basically making the experience of the customer along the customer cycle a lot better? And where do you think conversational AI fits in?
This fits in across all levels, Urvashi. To be very frank, because starting from buying, in fact, the selection level itself, and I'm browsing, I'm selecting few, I couldn't able to make up my choices. I'll give you one of the example, right? So I was planning to buy an insurance, right? And I was comparing two plans. So there were a couple of plans. Through the AI itself, of course, they were seeing my data, right? How much time I spent on X versus Y. Yeah. And within that X versus Y, how much detailed information I was seeking in X versus Y, right? They had all that information, right? Yeah. I got a personalized email saying you are searching for, so these are the complete comparison between X versus Y, what you were looking at. And the icing on the cake was, because they knew that I got into details of plan X, they offered me a discount, right? They offered me a discount on the X plan. No second thoughts, right? I immediately made my plan that I will go with X, right? They had that data. Similar fashion. So again, one of the examples of today's scenario, digitally connected, but remotely. Is everything available remotely? Not really, right? And more so through the AI tools, right? Through the chatbots. This is really, really humanized interaction, what I see, because I was stuck up with today's scenario because schools were offline and there was some issue with the printer at my end, right? I struggled. Initially, I struggled, but it really made it smooth for me, right? It was throwing some error through the AI. It was looking like because I logged in through the app, they know all my details, right? I faced the same problem because there was this cartridge issue, what I wanted to fit in. The AI bot, so there was a number of questions, the qualifying question, and immediately it really looked like as if I'm talking to a customer support on the other side. They put me onto the article, right? So it was a self-serve purpose that really saved the money and the effort at both ends. Organization, they saved the time. Otherwise, they would have sent someone to the house for fitting that cartridge. It was a simple task, but it was very fantastic. It was like within 5 minutes, I got the information. I tried putting in, and icing on the cake was they sent me the video that in case if you face some similar problem, this is the video. Step-by-step video. Wonderful experience. And this is what we face on an ongoing basis, right?
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you're actually sharing personal experiences and examples to, relate to the topic and what we are actually talking about. Great, Puneet. So, you also mentioned in one of your answers that how basically, data today is stored in silos and, is not consolidated in terms of building a personalized experience for the customer. How do you think conversational AI along with omni-channel solutions can transform raw data into insights by consolidating, say, the data that is fragmented across different formats and channels?
So from a data standpoint, right? So data is a key to success. If you talk about any organization for that matter, so we are sitting in 2022, but gradually everybody has to leverage their data. So the way we were talking about that Omni as an option, going forward, analysis of that data, it's not an option, it is a necessity in case if you want the customer insight, right? And this is going to be a big boon for the brand where they actually struggle to find the resolution, right? So from a bot standpoint, typically the data, the collection of data, right, from the different channels, be it your online, offline. If I was talking about that seamless journey, right? I made attempt online. I visited your website. I was trying on your app, and the information was flowing to the retail guy.
Yeah, yeah.
They know that I'm staying in X locality, and it is just sheer information which was seamlessly flown to the channel, which really made a personalized experience to me, right? Yeah. Same goes for a support. If you look at support, typically, if I'm facing an issue, right, and one bit is I should have either I should be given acknowledgement that yes, the error is we have received your details. Now this is the ETA for resolution, right? Through the AI chatbot itself, when the information is available, I need to know that this is what you committed, that this is when it will be resolved. This is basis and the self-service model I talk about, right? Yeah. So this is from the same data that this information. So the one error what you are talking about, in case even if you are talking on one channel versus other, all the channels are syncing to each other. If I've called up your toll-free number, the email information from a unified customer view, you have all that information. That's when they'll tell me clearly that, hey, this was the same problem you faced in the past. You have the past history of my data also, right? That's when you make it available that we share the video. We don't mind sharing the video again. You will be able to use it. You will be able to, instead of waiting for the technical person to come make a visit, all the data is available. In fact, the going forward, the realization earlier we make it, better is gonna be the experience from a customer standpoint, right? Be it marketeer, customer support, to for that matter, even the product guys, right? The product team also, they need to take advantage of that data. From a product, when I say, because at our end also, so we make sure that a product lead also, they interact with the customer, right? Yeah. They interact with the customer, they visit their website. In fact, to next level, we do make purchases on the customer's website to just to check the journey, whether it is really smooth or there are some gaps, and how do we ensure that different touch points, wherever we can remove the friction in whichever possible measure.
Great. And how do you think these key metrics can be analyzed to measure customer satisfaction, or to even measure the effectiveness of the entire personalization that we've been talking about?
So Rushi, so there are always the metrics revolves around the finance team, right? Ultimately, we all look at the financial aspects of it, right? But yes, finance is one of the key area. But apart from that, so initially, because I've started in 2006-7, right? The customer support team, if you put it clearly, they used to be treated as a cost center always, right? Because there was no revenue coming from customer support. They are just resolving the queries, right? But nowadays, it's a more advanced stage. I know my customer support team contributes to the revenue also, right? They do, because they know that this customer is a happy customer. From their NPS scores and other, they know that I can very well, so they are using X, I can very well sell, cross-sell, upsell some other product to them, right? So the data, if you look at from the decisioning metrics, of course, one of the point is gonna be the improved LTV, right? Your lifetime value of a customer, if that is seeing the increment. Yeah. Earlier it was X, now it is X plus this. That is a clear indicator, right? One of the key metrics, be it finance or the CEOs happily will look at, right? Yeah. Of course, from a customer support standpoint, clearly it is how do you reduce the churn rate? Because majority of the customers, in case if the problem is not getting solved on time, the ETAs, whatever you have committed, the SLAs, whatever you have committed, those are not, you are not meeting. Especially we talked about the impatient nature, right? The moment the ETAs are not met, the SLAs are not met, they'll make huge noise and cry around the social channels, right? That's one of the other criteria. What we look at is the churn rate as a key metrics when we implement this. Last but not the least is the, of course, the overall your CSAT scores and the NPS that comes in picture to ensure that your personalization, your tools is really effective, and it is making sense to continue stay invested on these personalization part of it.
Absolutely. Very valid points, in fact, Puneet. Also, would love to understand from you, what would be the three key takeaways, that you want to leave the audience with when they prepare and plan to scale with their customer base growing and with the conversations gaining momentum?
From my experience, if I need to see, because this is the real time, real life problems, right? What I was facing, and I was made the information available on time whenever I wanted. So one of the key aspect what the audience should look at is build a strong knowledge base and an easy access for that knowledge base to all the relevant stakeholders, right? And because ideally, considering these chatbots and the AI bots, make sure gradually you need to change from a human to self-serve model, right? That is going to be the ultimate aim what companies should look at as much as possible. Okay. Second is, we talked about silos. Break those silos. Treat your business as treat your, from a customer lens, it's a single business entity, single business identity, irrespective of channel, online, offline, social, whatever it is, right? Cut that crap, break those silos, and ensure customer should be treated consistently across all this, right? Last but not the least is going to be more of all your repetitive tasks. Please deploy AI tools. Please deploy chatbot. That will really save time. That will really empower your customer support. They can focus on other critical aspects, not the repetitive tasks, which can be very well handled at the AI level through the chatbot.
No, so absolutely. Yeah. So, just to add to that, I mean, most of the, say, organizations that we are working with in the e-commerce segment or in the BFSI segment, we've seen 60 to 65% queries are actually redundant in nature, and they do not require any manual intervention.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can just train the models and maybe integrate with your backend systems. Like you said, I mean, utilize data that is already available, and then just handle those queries in an automated fashion without relying on human agents, which over time can also, improve customer experience by, I mean, to your first point, by maintaining consistency in experience, right? I mean, the more you automate, the better you can scale and provide a more consistent experience to the customer. Great. Thanks, Puneet. Thanks a lot. That was very insightful and very helpful in terms of how customer support pain points can actually be transformed into better customer experiences by, I mean, to just recap whatever we discussed, by say providing a consistent experience by consolidating data and making use of that data throughout your customer journey to build very personalized conversations with your customers. And also by evaluating metrics at the end of the day to just improve on the gaps and to fill wherever you feel the customer experience could actually go better in terms of providing support.
Absolutely.
Great. Thanks a lot for joining in. We have actually a few questions from the audience. Would love if you can answer those as well.
Sure.
One question says, how have customer support teams evolved over the years? I mean, I'm sure since you've been in this segment, you would be aware of how things were 10 years back. You were also talking about how traditional support worked and then, how it transformed over the years. If it would be great if you can shed some more light on that.
Sure. Urvashi, the customer support, if I need to look at, so earlier we were talking about that multi-channel, right? a offline store guy, in case if you have made any purchases in the offline space, they used to have a toll-free number which used to have an access, and they'll expect you to visit the store, right? Similar fashion, if you have made your purchase from website, web store will have different number altogether, right? All these channels, all these support teams, they were working in silos, right? From a toll-free number, so earlier it used to be the personalization. When I say the personalization we talk about, right? It was simple, dear Puneet. That's all. That's a personalization, irrespective whether the email is making sense to me. In case if I'm if there is a problem, what I was seeking the resolution, right? Dear Puneet, that doesn't make it really personal. I would have appreciated that the mail should have the context of my problem and the possible solution, right? So it has come long way from sheer toll-free number calling or the sheer email. Now it has graduated to an extent that they understood my problem, right? From simple standard replies to really personalized communication. That's the evolvement of the customer support team. They are really empowered. Today's scenario, a customer support guy is so empowered that they'll be able to, so instead of making and reaching out to the top-notch guys or making hue and cry about the problem, a customer support guy through that data itself is so empowered that they'll be able to solve the problem.
Absolutely. Also, so another question that is around using WhatsApp as a channel. How do you think WhatsApp can be leveraged by different industries in terms of providing support and also in terms of engaging with the customers?
It's a wonderful question. Frankly speaking, each one of us, thanks to the numbers talk by themselves, the WhatsApp number of users, right? Whether we like it or not, be it we call it as tier 1 town class cities or metro cities, you go to rural segment, they'll be more connected on WhatsApp as compared to us, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's sheer usage of the WhatsApp as a medium, right? The ease of use. That's what gradually we expect a customer support also to be really eased out using the WhatsApp itself, right? So from a WhatsApp, starting from that, we talk about the browsing experience to the customer support as a channel, WhatsApp is growing phenomenally, right? The recent update from WhatsApp was that WhatsApp, any which way, most of you are aware, they are coming up with their own e-commerce as a channel, right? So WhatsApp as e-commerce, if that is gonna come, that means there is enough of opportunity for usage of WhatsApp as a medium of communication, as a medium of support, as a medium of marketing as a channel.
Absolutely. In fact, WhatsApp nowadays is also used for proactive communication to the customer, so that your support tickets also they reduce over time. Like for example, just taking an e-commerce example, if say suppose there has been an order placed by the customer, and you proactively communicate to the customer that hey, this order is out for delivery, or your order is confirmed, or we've dispatched and you'll receive this order in 2 to 3 days. Most of the queries that come in for order tracking are actually resolved there, just by proactive communication.
Bang on, Roshi, bang on, because that was the another area, like instead of reactive, let's be proactive. And this is a step towards making sure the customer experience is really a wow experience.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of proactiveness, and that can be achieved only on channels like WhatsApp that allow you, to reach out to the customer with a certain information, or just to notify the customer, update the customer of something, wherein, your mobile app chat support or website chat support is very reactive in nature. I mean, unless the customer reaches out to you, you do not really know, what query the customer has, or, what kind of support the customer needs. Absolutely. With that, Puneet, we've come to the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining in. It was a pleasure talking to you, and very insightful in terms of how the entire space is changing, and how a company can actually build a delightful customer experience. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you so much.